Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map which does have its fair share of flaws. Not too many, but its fair share. Having said that, I think the people that will play this map won't care. Either they're going to be experienced players who will fix the flaws pretty quickly, or they're going to be baseline players who won't even notice them and will only be looking at the topography, which is actually really very nice indeed, especially when you consider that
it's my first map.
That's right, it's really quite nice. Flaws, schmores. What do we do though for people that give us really nice topography? Well, I'll give you a big clue. That's right, we send them £1,000 in the post. Oh, no, we click the like button and they are really appreciative when you do. But if you want to spend me £1,000 in the post, I didn't make the topography. I'll share it with Lauren or Lauren. I'm not sure which, but it's Rennington Bay today by GTG Lauren. And I think GTG means got to go, which means they've probably got a bladder like mine. There's your star square. We've got the river running through it. I'm sure you've got a better bladder than I, Lauren. There's your terrain heights. All of the height variations there. Very nice indeed. And then resources. Splodges here and there. Definitely workable. Definitely vanilla base game workable, I would say. They're all good. What about the fishing? For those that care, we have tuna in the river. Yes, we have tuna. There's a thing. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, there's no DLC required today. Great thumbnail. Love the thumbnail for today's map. We've got 3 trees to subscribe to. Well, one of them is a small cluster. We'll be using the realistic 1.2.13 Boreal theme and supposedly the photorealistic final LUT by Reaper. But somebody made a balls up. That'd be me. Hello. We will have a look at it with the photorealistic by Reaper LUT, but we are actually looking at the V1 photo V109 LUT in error. After the intermission and the shipping and whatever, we'll have a look with the correct LUT. A quick squint by, which I did in post-production. But there's not that much of a difference. But I've got to come clean and be honest and true. And yeah, it's close today. The LUT is very close. Okay, the roads, this part of the map, I chose this way in because, if anything, they're at their worst down here, and I like to show you what you're going to get. Here we got bridges that are not quite aligned, so they cross over a little bit here. Not that it's a big problem, we've seen that done deliberately. We then have elevated roads intercutting, which is always quite funny. But we're away from the centre of the map, so probably doesn't matter that much. That said, these roads are elevated pretty much all the way. In fact, here we've got a long straight road, and then we've got a partnering road which bows away and comes back together. It's, like I say, the worst part of the map in terms of roads, and I chose to come this way because of it. So there we are. We'll check out something else in a minute. Don't worry. It's not like this throughout. We do have some go down to ground level right here. So it goes down the ground. Oh, just for that short distance. Then we'll go back into the air again. I am being a little bit harsh here, but they are, considering it's a realistic map. I was going to say a photoreal map. It's, in some ways it is, but it is a very realistic feeling map, and then you get all these elevated roads which just distract from that. Okay, really nice. I thought this was going to be a Cloverleaf Intersection. It's not. It's one of these swirly ones. I quite like these. Very curly, like little S's crossing over each other, or fishing hooks maybe. Very tidily done. I like this. There's a couple of minor issues, like I've got a slightly encroaching bit of foliage there, which will become a bit of a theme in a minute. And where these rocks have been put down, this is a bit of the detailing off the rocks overhanging onto the ramp. Minor issues, another bit of foliage there as well. Now down the middle here we've got these clusters of trees which are just encroaching onto the highways, and I was thinking maybe this is just being painted, the road's been painted over. So let's go into Move It and see if there's lots of trees underneath these highways, and the answer is no. These clusters of trees in the middle are actually a design choice. popped there deliberately by the creator, and they are encroaching onto the roads. It's a minor fail. I don't mind a bit of foliage in the central reservation there, but that, for me, I was slightly encroaching on the side of the roads as well there. In fact, we've got a bigger sim over here actually growing out of the concrete. Minor things. Minor things. Always minor things. Right, heading up, we've got a nice little rail crossing coming up here in a moment. We'll check that out when we get to the rail. This actually is very nice work indeed. I'm prepared to tell you that and be honest and true. And then we have actually a quite nicely worked a wishbone. I think it's the vanilla one. It looks like a vanilla one, but it looks like it's been tidied up. It might be one that's been tidied up on the workshop, but look at the ramps here. They're much smoother. So it looks like it's all been lowered down. The thing is, when you lower these things down, you've always got to make absolutely sure you're not going to have any trouble with street lamp clipping. Could just do with dropping this node down a fraction just to ease that down ramp a little bit like that. That there is just a little bit better for me. Not much of a difference, so it's pretty good. But watch out for these street lamps because they can sneak up on you, light like that, and ruin a perfectly good intersection. Oh, darn it. Anyway, we're in the start square, which means only one thing. Or you could say it means two things. We have an asset of the day. On today's asset of the day, we have the Paris Narrow Corner Building 1 by Pekora, which I think would fit really nicely in with all those really lovely ones from Jez and Fine Build. And you want something extra in your Paris build. This could be the one. Nice work, Pekora. And factoids, because factoids. It's a good one today. King Alfonso XIII of Spain was born on this day, the 7th of May in 1886, but he had to wait until his 16th birthday to become the official King of Spain. He was so tone deaf that he had to employ an anthem man to tell him when the Spanish national anthem was being played so that he could stand up in reverence. Didn't even recognise his national anthem. I think he's having them on there, you know. How can you not recognise a tune? Got to say, I don't really know. I mean, the Italian one, the Brazilian one, the Spanish national anthem just escapes me at the moment. But anyway, Paris Narrow Corner Building by Pekora. This is version number 1. And the asset of the day, hopefully there'll be more from Pekora because I'll say it's their first time on the show and I'd like to see more from them. I'm just going back to this swirly about intersection over here because I want to take you down this route. We take the routes for a reason. Now what we have there is we've got the two highways which are basically crossing over each other on that one intersection. That's what you've got. So it's not the most efficient or luxurious of highway layouts. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. We've seen a lot worse, and we do have 4 highways in and out. What you notice here though, we've got a little bit of light traffic heading down with us and no traffic heading towards us. Yeah, you can already smell. Experienced watts mappers will already know what's coming here. This elevated section here, I don't mind too much actually. It needed to be, I feel. And it's been done quite well. So long as it comes back down to ground where we get the terrain coming up to meet it, which is about here. And this would be where you should come back down to ground. But unfortunately, we're staying elevated and that kind of ruins it. A little bit of drift between the highways there as well. And now you can see we've got a bridge section coming, which is nice, but here is where the problem is. First of all, little bit of alignment issues over here. If you have a look at the suspension cables, yeah, there's an extra node in there on this side where there isn't on the other side, and that's where, let me just show you, there you go, node there, and it should be at that node there. So yeah, little problem there, not a huge problem to fix, just thought I'd point it out. So we've got that, and then we've got the bridge that crosses over. It's very nice. Elevated section on the other side, quite happy. But yes, we've got a little bit of one way against highway here. Again, it's going to be easy to fix with the upgrade tool. What we're going to need to do is just choose that, choose the correct highway section, which is that. Upgrade. Oh, we're going to switch Anarchy on. There, Anarchy. And there you go. Anarchy's on. There you go. that's how quick it is to fix it. It's not a huge problem. If you're playing a 9-tile game, you won't be able to do that because this is certainly outside of the 25 tiles. But if you're anybody else, and it won't really affect gameplay that much. You're going to have plenty of traffic coming into your city, so it's not the hugest of problems. In fact, just making sure the traffic has now started spawning because we now have a through route on the highways. Right, rail. Shall we have a look at the rail? The rail has got one curiosity about it. Again, we're playing on the realistic style map, and there's a little bit of uppy downy to come. A little bit of a wiggle going on here as well. If you have a look at the rail, it goes straight on here, and you think that's the route it's going to take, but it dead ends right here. And I feel that that should be the main route. It takes a more scenic route instead, which, you know, credit for being scenic. Going through the hills over here, so let's go this way instead. There might be a little bit of encroaching foliage here and there. I'm not going to come down like a ton of bricks on it. I think it's quite obvious that there's going to be here and there, and also catenaries. The equidistance on the catenaries falls out a little bit. So that's the sort of thing that you're looking for from a top. This is a first map. So that's the sort of thing you'd expect from a top creator. We go back to the big names, your Sidis, your Zossos, etc. Those are the ones that will be looking to get every single node spot on, and we're okay with this. This is fine. It's about the topography on this map, and we will be checking that out in a little bit more detail later. Heading back through the woods and the forests, and nips through here. Got a little, there's your encroaching foliage. I thought I'd show you that I wasn't just making that up. There is indeed. It's not the worst thing, and of course it's not game breaking, so I won't worry about it too much. If you're a baseline player, you won't even notice. Then over here it comes back to the highway. Now if I just pull back and show you what we've done, we've avoided the highway, the intersection, and gone up and around and back this way, whereas the dead end is here, and I think it probably should have carried straight on instead. But it's a negligible thing, and I guess a little bit of creativity to be encouraged. Speaking of creativity, I love the crossover on the rail. First of all, a bit more encroaching foliage there. But this crossover, it's not perfectly smooth, but it's pretty damned good. It's pretty good, and it's very scenic. So credit for all of that. And more foliage on the line. It comes back down to ground here, and it is a little bit steep here as well. If you have a look at the terrain lines there, you can see there is just a little bit the gradients. So if you're a true realist, this isn't your map. But as I said before, I think this is one more for your baseline gamers, your 9-tile gamers, plus those people that just really like the topography and are highly skilled and will fix the bits that they're just not okay with. Other than that, I think it's all right. It's certainly not the worst networking we've ever seen on a map, and I'm prepared to kind of let it go. I will, of course, be grading it down at the end, but I don't really think it matters that much on today, just because of the way the map feels. It's all about the vibe for me today, and I'm really feeling the vibe. Okay, let's take that intermission, come back with the shipping.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And back to Rennington Bay by GTG Lauren, and we have shipping. And the shipping is going to do something that you're going to think I'm going to moan about here. It splits. Okay? And there is a connector there to allow for looping back round. And actually, I am going to mention that. I am going to mention it. There will be some sharp turning ships on this map back at that point where they merge. But yeah, it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. We have seen worse things. We've seen worse things quite recently. We've got water flow. We've got good water flow coming down from the river. It's quite a nice river. Is it the most scenic river we've ever had? No, but it's a good one, and I'm sticking with it. I'm going to argue for it. The river flows out and into the bay, and so those that like to have a river for dumping the sewage have got a good working one as well. Okay, now let me just show you. This is what the map should look like with the correct LUT. This is with Reaper's photorealistic final, and it's a great LUT. It's a great LUT. But yes, I was set with the V109. I don't even know how I managed to choose the V109, Photo V109 LUT, which in itself is a good LUT and is not completely dissimilar for Reaper's one. But yeah, I thought I'd show you this. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And we'll go back to the standard review now. And this is back with the V109 LUT. See, there's not... Oh, it was past my window. Yes, there's not too much wrong with it, to be honest with you, in terms of difference between the two. Anyway, let's head down and have a look at some of the work. We have got this island. It's almost a bonbon island, actually. I probably just a bit larger than I would like if I was going to claim it as a bonbon island. But I quite like it. It's a good shape. The hills are quite smooth. It's believable. And of course we've got a jetty as well, which is a plus. It's been quite nicely worked, that jetty as well. So credit for that, because credit where it's due. Love the shapes of the hills and the background scenery and the river. Like I say, the river has got a vibe to it. It's not the most exciting river we've seen, the best river, but it's absolutely fine. I'm not moaning. The hills look great, and the tree placement on the hills, do you know what? I could buy into these. I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse. And so, yeah, I'm okay with this. A credit for the foliage. We've got not too much on the cliffy type bits, basically what I'm saying. This shaped lake down here, I like this lake. In terms of realism, I'm not sure where the water is going, because if we come over here, we have got a river flowing into it. Quite a fairly lustrous, full of water river. Yeah, there's plenty of water pouring into this lake here. I'm not sure where the water in this lake is supposed to be going. I'm suspecting an underground river, and I'm accepting it as that. That's fine. That's fine. Obviously, it doesn't really matter. It's got a drain point in there, maintaining the level, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Up here, though, we are out in 25 tiles, but I'm going to point it out for those that really care. Water spawn points up here, even with the correct LUT, and I have checked with the correct LUT. There's not really much of a difference. It's kind of like paint on the side of the mountain. I think it could have been done a little bit better. For those of you that want to play the 81 tile game on this map and come up and do something fun in the mountains, that might distract you a little bit. But hey, I'm just showing you. Okay, that's it basically. It's a map with topography that is actually quite desirable. What do you think of it though? Do you think it's a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I have no idea. It's been so strong lately. This could sneak in any other month, but it's going so well this month, I don't honestly know. Aesthetically, I feel that this is kind of almost a 4-star map, you know. And I'm just held back by something, and I don't know why. I like it enough to give it a 4th star, but I feel it's only a 3. A high 3. I'm going high 3. Credit where it's due. High 3. Detailing, there are problems. Not too many, but there's all those elevated highways are a big fail for me, and them on themselves are bringing it down to 2 stars. Forget about foliage on the roads and stuff. Gameplay potential, I think it's very playable. Bear in mind, this is, I think, aimed at baseline players. I'm going to give it 4 stars because I think it's there. Yeah, anybody else might want to knock a star or 2 off. Rennington Bay by GTG Lauren. That is a really nice topographic map. I'm sold on it. And 3 years ago, I would have played on that without even a bat of an eyelid. 3 years ago, that was an excellent map. Okay, just the game's moved on. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing, and to all the BonBon buddies who've subscribed for yet another month. If you want to join me for just $1 a month, get your name in the credits. Yeah, link is up there as well. Patreon.com/BonBonB. Right, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.